Welcome back. In this third video in Series 2, Everyday Behavior Intervention for Teachers, we are talking about reinforcement in your classroom. So a lot of times people talk about rewards, and we tend to think about the treasure box or rewards being tangible items, but I want to challenge you to think about a broad selection of rewards in your class. If you look on my website or in the links to this, you'll find a list of possible rewards for your kids in the classroom and rewards ideas for different ages. And I hope that you'll get some great ideas from that. But rewards are essentially put into several different categories. So we talk about tangible items. Those are physical things that you're giving your kids or your students in your classroom. A lot of times tangible items cost money, and as teachers, really the budget isn't there for a lot of tangible things or for using things that cost money. And so I don't put a lot of emphasis on this category, but there are some tangible items that might be funded by your school, or if you want to get little things from the dollar store that are cheap and inexpensive, you can use those. However, most kids, if you give them tangible items, they like them for a few seconds and then they end up on a shelf or lost or stolen or something like that, and sometimes they end up causing more problems than anything. But tangible items, pencils, stickers, little candies. Some kids are really motivated by edible items, and so edible items tend to be cheap and easy as far as little chocolates or even chips, or some kids are really motivated by fruit. I had one kid that was motivated by cherry tomatoes, and so really think out of the box with those tangible items. It doesn't just have to be stickers or pencils or little toys, okay? Another category of rewards are activities, and activities are free. And you just want to look at, in my classroom, what kinds of activities do kids really enjoy? And kids like anything that's restricted. And so I had one kid that loved spinning in the teacher's chair. That was an activity. That was a special privilege. When I was a kid in school, I really enjoyed dusting their erasers. And so I would go outside and make these big clouds of dust with the old chalkboard erasers. Now we don't have chalkboard erasers, but we do have whiteboards. So cleaning the whiteboard can be a special activity. Being the teacher's helper, so handing out papers or getting supplies, that can be a special activity. So being the line leader or the caboose of the line, that can also be a special activity that kids can earn, and all of those are free. I had one friend who, her daughter really wanted to be the pencil sharpener, and so the students just put all the dull pencils, rather than sharpening their own pencils, they put all the dull pencils in one pencil container, and then they went through and somebody got to be the person to sharpen all the pencils. That's not as possible in a COVID season, but you can think of little things like that that can be tasks that you don't necessarily want to do, but other students may find to be a great privilege or a reward to get to do those types of things. So what are those privileges in your classroom? Also think about escape. This is another category of reinforcement. And so escape rewards are getting out of things. We all like to get out of things. That's why we like to go to fast food restaurants. We get out of cooking and cleaning up after whatever we cooked. So that's a great escape. We send our clothes to the dry cleaners because then we get to escape cleaning and ironing those clothes. So what types of tasks in your classroom can kids escape? Great escape things are like a free problem pass, so you get to choose any problem not to do, or a free assignment pass, a free homework pass, a free essay pass, a free spelling word pass. So free passes are great escape things, but also a tardy pass, or a get to leave 5 minutes early, especially if you're in junior high or high school and you have an hour right before lunch or right before release, and they could leave 5 minutes early. That's a huge pass. Don't forget about attention. We talked about attention in the last video, but those post-it notes and things, those can be attention. But you can also have students earn the privilege of showing a YouTube video. We all love YouTube, hence you're on YouTube right now. But there are so many funny videos on YouTube. And so can you allow students to earn the privilege to share their funniest YouTube video? There are some amazing funny videos on YouTube, and kids have a knack at finding the best ones. And so can they earn that privilege? Just make sure that you pre-screen any video that they're going to show beforehand. Being the class joke teller, reading class announcements, handing out papers, any of those things, writing on the board, so being the class scribe, that can also be an attention and or an activity privilege that they can earn. So go through your class, think about, how can I look at all of the rewards that I have? Anything that you restrict suddenly becomes a reward. And so if you think about water, we're not going to pay for water, especially not if you're at home. Sometimes we pay for bottled water, but for the most part we drink tap water at home, and I'm not going to pay $9 for a bottle of water. But if you go on vacation to an amusement park, suddenly you'll find yourself paying $5 for a bottle of water. Or if you're in an airport, you will pay $5 or $6 for a bottle of water because it's restricted. And so in your classroom, anything that you restrict, even seating privileges. So if you earn it, you're able to sit on the floor, or you're able to sit wherever you want. Whereas if you haven't earned it, then you have assigned seating. Or being able to sit in special chairs, like if you have wobble chairs or seat cushions or something like that, or sitting with a pillow, or sitting on the floor in the reading nook. Those are all special privileges. Anything you restrict suddenly becomes a privilege and becomes worth earning. Okay, so in your classroom, how do you organize these rewards, and how do students access these privileges or rewards? You want to have some type of system. So you can either have a menu where students can cash in their points or cash in their whatever to earn those, or you can have mystery motivators. And so that's just where you write the items on a popsicle stick, and then whenever they earn it, they can pull out a popsicle stick, and whatever they pull out, that's what they earn that day. And so it can be either spelled out things that they're working for, or it can be mystery motivators and surprises what they earn for the day. So think about, do I want this to be a token economy, or do I want this to be a level system? So there's kind of two different systems in a classroom that you can have. One is a token economy. And token economies, these are where you give points, and then the students cash in the points. So it's like a cash system, okay? So how do they earn the points? These are things that you have to think about. How will they earn the points? How many points will it take to cash in things? Keep it simple when you're looking at a token economy. The more complex you make it, the more complex the economy is, the more complex it is to maintain. So try to keep it very simple. Just make sure that you're handing out tokens frequently. When you are working on math, you don't have students just do one math problem. You have students do multiple math problems, so they get plenty of opportunities for practice and feedback. Every time you hand out a token, that's practice and feedback. So if you're going to practice a math problem 50 times, how many times can they practice saying please, saying thank you, raising their hand, waiting? Hand out those tokens frequently, because the more feedback and the more reward that you give them for them, the more you're going to see that. Whereas if you're sparse, or you're not giving that feedback as often, the stingier you are, the stingier they are with their behavior, and the less likely they are to exhibit that behavior. Level systems, this is where you put your rewards in specific levels. And so anybody who's in the basic level or the bronze level, they have access to these rewards. Whereas if you earn it, then you move to the advanced level or the silver reward level. And if you're in the silver or the advanced reward level, then you can access these specific privileges or rewards. And then you have a step up where these are the superior or the gold level rewards. And so if you've earned enough points, you can be in the gold level reward. One thing that you want to look at, sometimes when we have level systems, is we move up or down a level based on discrete behaviors. And usually you're moving up or down those levels based on you got in trouble, and so you move down a level. One thing you want to look at is the more behaviors, the higher you can get in your levels, and to make sure that students are earning moving up in those levels. As we talked about in the last video, equity and equality are two different things. And so you really want to make sure that you're being equitable in distributing these things. Different students have different expectations for math and different expectations for reading. Different students have different expectations for behavior. Some students are just your gold star students, and they're going to perform well no matter what challenge you throw at them. Some students really have a hard time with behavior, and they need that extra support. And so how can you provide extra support to those behavior needs that students have, and really help push them in those needs? I hope that you found some great ideas from this. I try to keep the video short and sweet. This has gone a little long. Thank you for hanging in there for the whole video. And I'll put some more resources on the webpage, and also on our Facebook page, and the YouTube links. Have a great day.